Welcome, friends! On Christmas night, the room was full of laughter and joy. My parents handed out expensive, shining gifts to everyone, except my son. With a hopeful smile, he tore open his box, but inside there was nothing, just emptiness. His little face crumbled, and tears rolled down like rivers. He whispered, "Did I do something wrong, Daddy?" My heart broke into 1,000 pieces. I looked at my parents, searching for compassion. But my mother only smirked and said coldly, "That boy doesn't need anything." The cruelty in her words cut deeper than a knife. I wrapped my arms around my son and walked away, promising him he would never feel unwanted again. A week later, my parents showed up desperate and shaken. Life had taught them a bitter lesson. The pain they gave to an innocent child had returned to them in ways they never imagined. Sometimes the price of cruelty is far greater than one can bear. Friends, never let pride or hatred break a child's spirit. Their smiles are worth more than the world itself. If this story touched your heart, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Soul of kindness. Welcome, friends. Night fell, wrapping the palace in darkness. The cold wind moaned through broken windows, and the palace seemed more broken than ever. Arian sat by the fireplace, staring at the frozen ornaments, thinking this Christmas would be like all the others, silent, lonely, forgotten. Suddenly the little girl appeared again, carrying a basket of flickering candles. "Let's light the palace together," she said, her small hands trembling but determined. Arian hesitated but couldn't resist her hopeful smile. One by one, they placed candles in every corner, the grand hall, the corridors, even near the dusty chandeliers. The palace slowly came to life. Shadows danced with the flickering flames, and a warmth spread through the cold marble floors. The old organ in the corner began to play a soft tune, as if awakened by the pure heart of the little girl. Tears filled Arian's eyes. He had never felt so alive, so connected. "Even a disabled palace can shine," whispered the little girl. Arian nodded, feeling a deep sense of peace and hope. For the first time in years, the palace wasn't empty. It was alive with love, warmth, and the true spirit of Christmas. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Channel Soul of Kindness. Welcome, friends. The palace was quiet again, but tonight felt different. Arian wheeled himself into the old study room, where piles of forgotten letters lay scattered on a mahogany desk. Dust hung thick in the air, yet the faint smell of pine and old ink filled the room. Each letter told a story of love, laughter, wishes, and celebrations that the palace had once known. As he carefully picked one up, he realized it was a child's letter to Santa, written decades ago. The handwriting was shaky, yet full of hope. Arian felt a lump in his throat. The words on the paper spoke of dreams that never came true, of joy that was lost, and of a world that had forgotten this palace. Just then, the little girl from before appeared, holding a small lantern. Her eyes sparkled with determination. "Mister, maybe these letters are lonely too. They need Christmas magic," she said softly. Together, they began reading the letters aloud, letting the stories fill the empty halls. As each letter's hope and wishes echoed through the palace, something miraculous happened. The chandeliers flickered to life. The old tree's lights shone brighter, and even the cold marble seemed warmer under the glow. A soft melody started from the grand piano in the corner, as if the palace itself had remembered how to smile. Arian felt tears streaming down his face, tears of joy, of love, of a heart touched by something greater than himself. The little girl placed her tiny hand on his and whispered, "Every forgotten dream can shine again, mister." Even here, for the first time, the palace was alive. Not just with lights, but with stories, emotions, and the warmth of countless hearts long gone, but now remembered. The disabled palace had found its voice, singing again the song of Christmas miracles. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Channel Soul of Kindness. Welcome, friends. The night was deep, and the disabled palace seemed to hold its breath. Arian wheeled himself through the grand hall. Now glowing softly from the candles and lanterns he and the little girl had placed. The snow outside sparkled under the moonlight, but inside something far more magical was happening. Suddenly, the heavy doors of the palace creaked open. One by one, the old servants, neighbors, and townspeople began arriving, carrying gifts, ornaments, and wreaths. They had heard of the lonely palace and the brave little girl spreading hope. Their footsteps echoed through the halls, turning the silence into a chorus of laughter, greetings and warm voices. Arian's eyes widened. Tears streamed down his cheeks as he watched people decorate, sing, and embrace one another. The once-forgotten palace was alive again, every corner filled with warmth and joy. The old tree stood taller than ever, now glittering with lights, ribbons, and memories. The snow globe the little girl had shared with him glowed brightly, reflecting the magic of renewed hope. The little girl tugged at Arian's sleeve. "See, mister? Christmas never left. It just needed a little love to come back," she said, smiling. The palace's organ played a grand melody, and a choir of voices joined in. Arian felt his heart expand, the weight of years of loneliness melting away. For the first time, he realized that even a disabled palace could be a home for miracles. It was proof that love, kindness, and hope could revive even the most forgotten places. He looked at the little girl, whispering, "Thank you for bringing Christmas back to life." She simply smiled, holding his hand as the hall filled with laughter, music, and tears of joy. That night, the disabled palace became a beacon of hope, reminding everyone that no matter how broken or forgotten, every heart, every place, and every soul could shine again. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Channel Soul of Kindness. Welcome, friends. The first light of Christmas morning spilled through the palace windows, painting the grand halls in soft golden hues. The palace, once silent and forgotten, now resonated with laughter, music, and warmth. Arian sat by the enormous fireplace, watching the little girl run around, placing the last ornaments on the sparkling tree. Today, something extraordinary was about to happen. The palace's grand chandelier, long dull and lifeless, suddenly flickered and shone with a brilliance it hadn't known in decades. It reflected the joy in every face, the neighbors, the townspeople, the servants, and even Arian himself. The walls seemed to hum, as if the palace itself was breathing, smiling, rejoicing. The little girl ran to Arian, holding a small box. "Mister, this is the heart of the palace," she said, opening it to reveal a tiny, glowing crystal. It pulsed gently, illuminating the room like a heartbeat. "It keeps love alive, and it saved Christmas here." Arian felt tears welling up. He had seen the palace broken, abandoned and cold, but now he realized that true magic had never left. It was in the hearts of those who cared, those who believed, and those who dared to hope. He rose slowly, feeling the weight of the years lifting from his shoulders. The palace was no longer just a building. It was a home filled with stories, laughter, and memories, and most importantly, love. Outside, the snow fell softly, blanketing the world in white. Inside, hearts glowed brighter than any candle or ornament. Arian whispered, "The palace isn't disabled anymore, because we never stopped believing." The little girl hugged him tightly. "Mr. Christmas is about magic, but also about love, and we made both come back." The palace echoed with joyful cheers, songs, and laughter, a living testament that even the loneliest, most forgotten places can shine when hearts unite. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Channel Soul of Kindness.